Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. Another live broadcast, and we're going to be back in a few minutes with the economy melting down. We're going to be back with what the globalists are up to, the naked body scanners, all the things that are unfolding right after this quick break. But I want to play a video clip first of the TSA saying that they are God. I want to remind people of everything that's going on, everything that's happening on that front. This, of course, is from earlier in the year because I mentioned Friday, the TSA, people thinking that they're God, and I got an email saying I was making that up, so I thought I'd play this little NBC News piece out of Southern California, and so here's that clip.
Colleen, let me set the scene for you for the latest incident. It was this past Sunday night here at LAX about 7:30, probably crowded because a lot of people were coming home from the New Year's holiday, when suddenly a man starts acting strangely. He starts saying, "I'm God, I'm in charge." LAX police arrest that man, and he turns out to be a TSA agent. They are the first line of defense in airport security, Transportation Security Administration agents. But there have been two troubling incidents involving LAX TSA agents recently. A source tells Channel 4 News a TSA agent was arrested on January 3rd here at Terminal 1 at LAX. He'd just gotten off duty and was behaving erratically, saying, "I am God, I'm in charge." The agent was arrested under the welfare code and could have been hospitalized in protective custody for up to 72 hours. Meanwhile, a TSA internal affairs investigation turned up evidence of LAX TSA agents using drugs at an after-hours party. TSA officials say a videotape of the party was of poor quality and the employees were not in uniform, but 4 employees were tentatively identified. All 4 were tested for drugs. 1 came back positive, and that employee was fired.
There shouldn't be people under the influence, because you're still under the influence the next day.
If you're going to take a job here, you take on an extra responsibility. You need to follow through with your responsibilities, even on your own time.
But other passengers weren't as concerned.
I imagine there are a lot of people doing that in all walks of life, doing all kinds of work. So no, not really.
Do you want them checking you in your job? I mean, do you want them telling you what to do?
The federal security director at LAX, Larry Fetters, would not comment on camera, but his office released the following statement. TSA practices a zero-tolerance policy for illegal drug use and conducts random drug and alcohol testing at over 450 airports across the country to enforce this rule. We show no leniency to employees who violate the public trust and shame the uniform that is proudly worn by 50,000.
So you notice that they made this about drugs. No, it's about the type of mental patient, wannabe control freak who couldn't get a job cleaning toilets, but now gets to feel up your 2-year-old daughter and your wife and your husband. Okay? So they try to distract and say, oh, there was a TSA party with drugs. That must be what has them running around saying they're God. Is that what has them out there planting cocaine in people's bags and then demanding sexual favors? Is that what has the TSA being caught all over the place, killing people? Remember that woman, what was it, out in Phoenix, where they killed her, and then she said that she choked herself with her handcuffs behind her back somehow? Impossible. Or the TSA-type goons in Canada breaking people's necks all the time? Remember the Polish guy couldn't speak English, 27 hours in an area, no food, no water. He saw his mother show up. She could speak English, started begging for help. So they just went in, tasered him, jumped on his head with their knees, broke his neck, and basically high fives, felt manly out of it. Because I'm God. I'm God. All right, we're going to reset, come back, get rolling here with the broadcast. And I'm going to get into the economy. Everything's going to hell in a handbasket. I mean, it's just all happening, and the general public are a bunch of wanting, lazy sheep who love tyranny. I hear them just begging for it. They want to be hurt bad, and the government's going to do it. Don't worry. Just like little kids in Guatemala, they're going to murder you.
You've heard Alex explain how the Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced colloidal silver solutions. Yet many are unaware of the entire function of the Silver Lung system and how it has been designed to deliver your silver solutions anywhere in or on the body. My name is Mario Cifaldi, and I'm the developer of the Silver Lungs generator. Not only does the Silver Lung system produce endless colloidal and ionic silver solutions, it also comes equipped with the proper applicators and devices needed to deliver your silver solutions directly to key target areas. This includes the eyes, ears, nose, lungs, topically to the skin, and orally for the digestive system. Be sure to watch our new 7-minute video tour of the Silver Lung system at www.silverlungs.com to learn more about how the Silver Lung system works. As well, we are always ready to answer any questions you may have. That's www.silverlungs.com.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Alex told you the government announced recently that the recession is over. It ended on June of 2009. The millions of Americans unable to find work might not agree. Perhaps the recession ended for the bankers and government employees, but for the rest of us, things seem to be getting worse. Gold and silver haven't heard the news either. They've begun their long-expected journey to the moon. In addition to converting your shrinking dollars into gold and silver, you should consider a food savings account from eFoods Direct. They both make fabulous investments. Food is our greatest dependency, and we know it will be more precious than any financial resource. You and your family need food to survive a crisis, and you can't eat paper, stocks, or metals. Alex has been urging you to invest in delicious, easy-fix meals to enjoy now or save for long-term. This will freeze the cost of your food while you can still afford it. Visit efoodsdirect.com on the internet or call 800-409-5633. That's efoodsdirect.com or 800-409-5633.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, the 8th day of November 2010. We're going to be live here for the next 3 hours. Coming up in about 2 hours in studio, former governor of New Mexico, Gary Johnson, will be in studio with us to talk about all the different developments in and around the world. But for the next 2 hours before he joins us, we are going to go over what's happening with the economy. And here are some of the headlines. Global economy, Obama returns fire after China slams Fed move. That's Reuters. Here's another big story at prisonplanet.com. ATMs crash across the country after bank holiday warning. Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America customers are being made unable to withdraw cash. That is confirmed. First, the rumors were floating around last week, and now it's clearly caused some type of mini bank run. So that report is up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. How many years did we talk about this, that the elite has been hoarding and buying up gold for decades? Well, going back throughout history, the elites have always known that gold is a real currency, especially when the elites are devaluing the paper currency. They always quietly move into gold. Now, they suppressed the gold price so it wouldn't compete with their paper currency and reveal that it was fiat and fraudulent. But they also, in the last few decades, accelerated their purchasing of it. By driving the price down of gold, it allowed them to hoard it so that once they kill most of the major currencies around the world or devalue them down to the point of near destruction, then they would come out and announce a partially gold-back SDR. And that SDR, that digital currency, will then control through the IMF and this new global government that they've openly announced all of the regional currencies. So their super currency will be partially gold-backed. And we've got Zolik seeks gold standard debate going into the G20 in Seoul coming up in a few days in South Korea. So there they are pushing that. China tees up G20 showdown with U.S., also Financial Times of London. The China powder keg. John Humphreys on a nation that's either on the edge of becoming the superpower or exploding into anarchy. And there's a photo in this article of all of the workers in the factories lining up like automatons. They're given 10-minute lunches, no breaks, and they commit suicide en masse routinely. And they've had to put nets around all the multi-story factories because people go out and commit suicide. That's who we're competing with. And you think the American people... There's a lot of hard-working, innovative folks in this country, but by and large, young people that grew up in front of the television set, who grew up griping at mommy and daddy, "Mommy, get me more popsicles, get me more candy, get me more aspartame." Can you imagine? I mean, we're a country that will put up with our children being fondled and our wives being fondled, and the government out in the open runs Al-Qaeda and hangs out with the Al-Qaeda leadership and grows the opium and is caught every week shooting kids up with syphilis, shooting them up with polio, murdering people, putting poison in drugs, putting HIV in blood products for hemophiliacs, just murdering people everywhere, and the cowardly scumbag public. I hear him on talk radio in Texas this morning going, "Oh, yes, the Austin police chief is leading the nation," yeah, because he's a Fed on record, run by the Feds, to take DNA from everybody who's arrested. That's the fine print they say for anyone arrested for any misdemeanor. And it all goes into a DNA database. Hey, what's a newborn baby done? Maybe it's Al-Qaeda. Is that why for 39 years all babies have their blood taken secretly? This is a bankrupt criminal government. And it's time for people to get that through their heads. It shouldn't be a hard sell here. I shouldn't be the radical. When literally every week I read about Asia or Africa or Latin America, where every disease you can imagine is being pumped into children and women and men in the name of vaccines in a huge population reduction program, and you got people dying everywhere of cancer and diabetes and their legs getting sawed off everywhere, and you've got just total death all over the place, and moron TSA workers saying, "Oh, there's not bad radiation from these machines," and mobile trucks frying the people driving them, looking through your walls, and the troops all breathing DU and dying in mass, hundreds of thousands degenerating with cancer. And I'm the radical for wanting to get off this train. Just a bunch of soft lunatics. Just a bunch of soft lunatics, entitled, and everything's wonderful. And to hear the sycophants who worship tyranny and worship jack-booted police state and have fetishes of fearing turbaned men and ninnying around when you got a better chance of being struck by lightning twice in 1 year than being killed by Al-Qaeda. It's all, even if you believe it's real, it is pathetic. The national religion of this country is being groveling, soft, effeminate, feet, boot-licking people who want to be murdered and killed, who beg to have their pension funds taken, who beg to have their guns taken, who beg to have their children kidnapped by the state with big fat pedophiles having their way with them, who beg and want to be killed. They love it. You bring up to the average yuppie at the gym or at a restaurant, "Hey, did you hear about them shooting people up with syphilis for population reduction?" "Yeah, well, there are too many people." That soft, chicken-necked piece of trash, they think of themselves as the elite, and there's this little backdrop secret about the extermination programs, and they feel like they're part of the elite, while that same piece of trash takes all the shots, drinks the fluoride water, drinks the bisphenol A,